I feel like there's like a special spirit of isolation over the city.
Although I'm in a huge city passing probably thousands of people every day, there's not very many, maybe sometimes only one person that there's actual eye contact with.
Well, people obviously have a need for touch if I'm able to create a job out of it.
My name is Brandolyn Brierly. Since I've moved to San Francisco, I've found it difficult to make friends, and I feel lonely. I would describe the lonely feeling that I have as a pretty depressed and melancholy state. I eat most meals alone and come home and listen to some songs that I love that are written by women that went through the same thing at some point in time. Since I moved here, I haven't really had anybody in my apartment. It's been just me and the dog.
Hi, my name is Marcus Häusler. I work in San Francisco with End Loneliness, and I'm helping people to break out of loneliness by encouraging them and helping them to find meaningful relationships and friendships. My goal is to create a concept which will help people to end loneliness. The heart is really behind it is multiplication. Like, I can't help like 50,000 people at a time. That's impossible. Like, I'm just one person. But I can train someone and help someone, and that person can help the next person. And that person can help the next person. But it's not all based around me. It's based around everybody who's working with it. Everybody can make a difference. Everybody can be a friend to someone. Everybody can go deeper with someone. And that's how it's gonna work.
Hi, my name is Travis Sigley. I founded a cuddle therapy business about 2 years ago, which is a service offered to people who need some one-on-one touch and affection and don't know where to get it in their lives. Loneliness is a pretty big factor in my work. Well, people obviously have a need for touch if I'm able to create a job out of it and offer it as a service to people, because there are some people that just aren't getting it.
I help teach my clients about connecting with people through experience, through laying down and holding them and talking to them and saying, like, look, this is what this feels like. This is what you've been craving.
It's interesting when I take my dog walking, because I let her off the leash and she goes and plays with other dogs and they're happy and she can make canine friends instantly. And dog owners always introduce their dogs' names, who never really each other's. And it feeds onto more of this feeling of just, although I'm in a huge city passing probably thousands of people every day, there's not very many, maybe sometimes only one person that there's actual eye contact with. Even though we live in a city so vast and large and dense with population, there's still this feeling of a challenge for how hard it is to make real friendships and have connections with people that feel genuine. And like people have time for you. Like people want to spend 5 minutes to actually care and get to know you for who you are.
People I meet, like, a lot of them don't have the connection to anyone, like, in a deeper way. Either way, they're working a lot, like they're like having really full days and they don't have time to connect, and then on the time they have, on the weekends, they don't connect with anyone because they're still in their work mode. Other ones, they're older and their friends died away or moved away from the city, and so for them, like, they lost all the connections to people later. And then some people, they just isolate themselves because they're a little bit socially awkward, and for them it's hard, like, to connect with someone in general. If you connect all the people to yourself, you're going to burn out. But if you connect the people with each other in a group, they can connect and they can build relationship between each other, and through those relationships they're able to really touch other people's lives as well, and it really helps people to see like, wow, I'm valuable, I'm important, I can actually do something. This city is so fast in pace, like you have to work so hard like to make it, and everybody comes here to succeed, but so many people are not succeeding. They're just like working really hard, and so a lot of people just become through that like a total isolated person. Even when you work and when you're a workaholic and you're like working like crazy, you still have that feeling inside, because it comes out when you have a moment of silence, when you have a time of like just calming down, because then you realize what really matters in life and you don't have it. You don't have anyone to connect with, you don't have anyone to share life with.
I feel lonely the most when I'm eating, and when I'm alone I feel less hungry. So I don't really like to make meals for myself so much as just snack on foods, and that's kind of a bit of a depressing experience to eat a meal completely alone. I just think food doesn't taste as good when it's not shared with somebody. When I fall asleep at night, I imagine all of these beds that are stacked around me and mattresses and the bodies that are sleeping. I know there's 2 above me, there's a bunch beside me, I'm surrounded by apartment buildings, and I think if you could just vanish the walls and imagine only beds and these bodies kind of stacked on top of each other, how sort of ironic it is that there's an extreme lonely feeling when we are surrounded by people. I love human touch. I crave human touch, and being lonely and living by myself and not having any connections here, I get through that by every morning when I wake up, I snuggle with my dog. I know I love you too, Lala. But also there's more meaning in just the way that I take a shower and depending on myself to feel comforted, to feel touched. At night when I feel lonely, I will stack the pillows on the right half of my bed in the shape of a body and just feel the presence of something there comforting me.
Physical contact is definitely one of the best ways to remove loneliness from your experience, because there's no, if you're being held by someone, you know you're not alone. Your body feels you're not alone. Your thoughts are about this person that's holding you. Like, there's no way you can feel alone because you are close to someone. You can feel it. There's no ignoring it. You can feel yourself touching someone else. And this work, the cuddle therapy work, really does help cure a lot of loneliness, if just in that moment, but helps them really see that they're not alone and what it feels like to not be alone, and also what they had to do to feel like they weren't alone.
Oftentimes when I feel lonely or crave human touch, one of my favorite things to do is go to a partner yoga class. And it's a really good way to just exercise and experience a platonic kind of touch from another human body. Or what I like to do even more than that is get a massage. And it is kind of expensive, so they only happen every once in a while.
Feeling touched is just really opening yourself up to feeling love. And I mean, that's the opposite of loneliness right there. Like, loneliness is just not having any love in your life, and touch will definitely show you that you do.
When I'm being massaged, it feels good for the moment, and sometimes afterwards I think it just makes you crave someone, the one person that you feel really close to, and to not have to pay money to have an experience of connection and intimacy and touch. So
I really know what it's like to be lonely. I spent a large part of my life when I was younger being lonely. I was moving around a lot as a child. My dad was in the Navy, and about every 2 years I would hop from one place to the next, and every 2 years I would just lose all of my friends. And after doing that for a while, I was over it, and I didn't feel like connecting with anyone again. I would just shut people out. And once I got out of that, I really saw how massively that affected my life, how good I felt about myself. Like, I just can't be lonely anymore. That was what I wanted to help people come into, because I knew that was the most healthy shift for me in my life.
Having basically no social life when I have a lot of extra time to kill. I spend a lot of time doing things that are so unimportant, like changing my clothing 1,000 times or leaving my apartment and then coming back to wear a different pair of shoes. At times I can spend up to a full hour changing my clothing and pairing it with different shoes or different tights or whatever for indecisiveness, really because I have no place to go, because I don't have friends to meet anywhere.
I stopped wearing shirts or anything on my torso, jackets, vests, shirts, whatever. I stopped about 5 years ago. Life without a shirt has been really fantastic, and it really has played a huge role in overcoming my loneliness, because it's something that was different, and because it was different, all of a sudden, I walk into a cafe and all eyes are on me. Like, can't feel alone, everybody's witnessing me. Definitely not alone here. Like, I'm definitely aware of the fact that people are watching me. And it's not even so much about being shirtless. I don't connect with people because I'm shirtless. I connect with people because being shirtless is who I really am. I really love to feel the world around me. I love to hug people and feel them. I love to do that. But I can just say it in one very simple little symbol. I am shirtless. That is my way of being me.
Where you grew up, I didn't have any friends, like, till I was about 15, 16. I had only one guy, and when it came heart to heart, he was just gone. And in that time, like, since I didn't have anyone, like, to talk to or connect, I felt super lonely. I was so isolated that I didn't even, like, think I could ever connect with anyone anymore. When you come to a place where, like, you feel like, oh wow, okay, why am I here? Would somebody miss me tomorrow if I would be gone? And you can't answer that question like with like yes, like somebody would miss you. You're starting asking yourself the question like, oh okay, so why am I here? I overcame like that feeling in my life. I was able to break it. That's why I believe like I can help other people too. And you still have to fight sometimes, you know. Sometimes it's coming in and it's creeping in on your life, but it's done. Like, you know, if you overcame something one time, you know how to do it and do it again.
I decided to go friend shopping because I needed human contact, otherwise I felt like I might go insane. So I woke up in the morning and went to a yoga class and made an effort to just reach out and meet people that were in the yoga class, and I ended up in a class of all people that were at least 40 years older. And then I went to Aquarius Records and Dog-Eared Books and some different places on Valencia Street and to the Zen Center in Hayes Valley and places where I thought I could meet like-minded people. And through that experience I realized that when you're looking for relationships like that, you're not going to find them, and they have to happen organically and naturally, just like love naturally happens.